so let me ask you this. I've heard both ways. Okay. You're so opinionated. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say. So
Okay.
you hear about the light. The light. Yeah, the light feels really great, but honestly, we're bioluminous. I've glowed quite a few times. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we are. But then you hear, oh, don't go in the light. That's an implant station. That's a reincarnation trap. And so get away from the light, go somewhere else. So, what's your thoughts on that?
There are different, I think, a part of having access to knowledge is also having awareness of which is the false light and which is the true light. There's nothing wrong with the light per se, but there is a false light, the false presentation. So I think we should start calling it that. Don't go into the false light, because there are different frequencies of light as well. It's a
Got it.
vibration. There is a frequency and sound to light, and if you can feel frequency, you can also feel sound. Everything is made out of sound, the vibrational universe, all that.
Yes.
And we can go into the whole rabbit hole right there, right behind
Yeah. Oh,
my
yeah. Oh, yeah. I was
shoulder,
getting
right
chills.
there, right? So
Yeah.
but
Frequency. Yeah.
exactly. So there's nothing wrong with the light per se, but there is a false presentation of light. And that's that kind of nauseating. For me presently, it's a nauseating energy. Like,
It's a beacon. It's a vacuum.
yeah,
It's a vacuum
yeah,
and a
yes,
beacon, and it's not the glorious oneness, beauty, harmony, frequency, the
yes.
humming, almost singing. Some people say angels, whatever, but good. It's all good. The other one is a beacon. It's like calling out for. It's like a soul. It's a soul trap.
It's a soul vacuum. It's a
It's a
soul
soul. It
vacuum.
vacuums. It's a beam, and it vacuums the soul. This is some weird sci-fi stuff, but
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And deliberately done so, deliberately created. What we have here with the belief systems, with the conditioning of the human, all of that is a false presentation. We call it the matrix. David
yes.
Icke calls it the matrix, right there. But I wanted to touch upon, really quickly, to touch upon
Yes.
something that we didn't go to in the first
Okay.
episode. And that is coming from a different world into Earth plane. I remembered this after I started. So once you start doing the practices that I will teach, once you start doing these practices, the filters get removed, and the memories that we're told you cannot have, they start coming in. So first of all, the memories of being in utero in my mom, the memory of being born, the memory of choosing
Yeah.
my parents. I can go on and on. All of that
Right.
I
Me too.
remembered and recalled, but I want to share here the remembrance of coming into Earth plane from a different world.
Oh, I would love to hear that. Yes.
And I remembered that at that point, and like you mentioned earlier, we're in multiple places simultaneously, because we're multidimensional
Multidimensional.
beings.
Correct.
Right.
Bingo. Bingo. That's
Thank
it.
you. But there are timelines that connect us with certain experiences that kind of string together. So let's say it started at that point that I'm going to share in a minute, and it's still stretching to this point here in this body that I'm talking from right now. So the beginning of my experience on Earth, so it started on a different planet. I was a part of the shared consciousness. We were non-physical beings. We lived in the shared consciousness within our world, where everything was interconnected. This has nothing to do with hive mind that people talk about. There is false light and false presentation. That's the
Right.
hive mind. And then there is a shared consciousness. There's false light,
That's
and then the
beautiful.
actual light. And I think that they're creating these false structures and ideas to derail us, or to direct us away from the real stuff. So the state of shared consciousness And I remembered very clearly the quality of light on that planet. It appeared that everything was in the red spectrum, like the sky was red. There were a few objects in the sky. We didn't have one sun, one moon. It seemed like there were a few suns at the same time, and the light was much dimmer, and there was like that a red spectrum energy. Definitely not Mars. I've already tuned into that. Um, then right.
I know people are going to ask that. I'm like, I'm so glad you covered that, because they're going to ask that. Yes.
Yeah, because what do we know? Hey, you say red planet, instantly it's like, oh, that's Mars. No, there's not the only one red planet around. So that, and we lived in an incredible state of connectedness and peace. We could teleport, we could visit other worlds, we could create, and we knew how to work with energy to create out of energy and dissolve just for our pleasure, just for our entertainment. We didn't need to have housing because we were not non-physical. I remember that we were sharing information with the planet itself, because unlike here on Earth, we were aware that the planet is a living human being. Or sorry, not human. There's a living being. Same like the Earth is the living being, but we are not aware of it here. Majority of us are not. But in that world, we were aware that our planet was alive, and we were connected with that consciousness too. And there was a point that I remember very clear. Oh, and I felt limitless. I felt really powerful, and I had no question about my freedom, my abilities, who I was. It was just not even potential for there in that world. And then I remember that we received a distress call. It started coming through into our consciousness from other reality, and that was a call of a distressed world that was asking for assistance. And I remember that we received that transmission through the planet itself. So it's like the planets were talking, or the planet that I was on had a mountain that was connecting to something on Earth here, and I was later guided to think that that's a Thunder Mountain here in Arizona. And
I was
Earth,
just there, and I meditated there, and there's all sorts of beings
yeah.
inside. Yeah.
Oh yes, Thunder Mountain is very
Yeah.
powerful. So Earth as a planet, as a living being, was sending a help me out kind of signal, and we received that through our planet and into our consciousness. And I had a feeling like, whoa, we have never experienced anything like that. And I felt such compassion for the state of being of that planet, that I had a inclination. I was like, well, maybe I want to go and help there. Maybe I want to go to that world and help them. I haven't had no doubt that I was capable of that, because how anchored all my abilities were. And then I thought, I already know my world here too, and maybe it will be a nice adventure. Yeah, little did I knew.
It's a real beep beep show. Okay, go ahead.
A little adventure that lasted a couple of million years now here on Earth. So I don't know how long in
Exactly.
years.
Oh,
But
sister, I hear you. I'm with you. I get it. I know. Go ahead.
so the minute I decided, I was like, okay, I gotta go, I started experiencing how my vibration is being like, started becoming denser and denser. It was like coming from the state of being the light into the state of being air, and then the state of being water, and then next thing I knew, I was in like a straight jacket of the physical form. I was like, what is this? I can't, I don't feel like, where did I go? There's only just that tiny part of me inside that straitjacket right here. That was the physical body. That's how the physical body feels the first time around. And then that's it. Once you enter, you're within the reincarnation trap. So I've been recycled here for centuries now, because as far as I also recalled, when I first came in, it was the very beginning of the whole humanity. So been here from the beginning of time. Maybe time to retire. Time to hang that project.
I'm surprised you admitted to that, because people go, I remember some lives. I mean, honestly, if you came from another planet, help, you've been here since you were an oyster in the freaking sand. You have been here since dinosaur age. You have been here. I have run killing saber-toothed tigers. I have killed all, coming in being like a little oyster and like, what the hell, you know, I've done. Yeah. I mean, I am this time. I don't know. Those of you listening, virtually raise your hand, are ready to end this freaking. I mean, I don't want to be angry, but I am a little angry. I'm ready to end this. I'm ready to end it. I'm ready to go to some place this Sunday. Hey, we can all do it together. It'll be terrific. It'll be a great party. But if you are, tell them what you're going to teach in this, you know, in this course, but this webinar, because people need to know they have choices. And if they were really honest with themselves, there's a lot of people here, a lot of people watching, that even if they haven't run past lives, whether on this planet or others, they know they know what you're saying is right.
Yeah. Well, I think you arrive at being ready at a certain point. And some people feel that Earth works for them and they're not interested in anything else, and that's perfectly fine. But for those who want to, for those who feel that they've had enough of this whole experience here,
I'm tired.
Right, been there, done that about a million times.
Yeah, bought the T-shirt. I'm done. Yeah.
I will give practical recommendations of how to handle your own essence, how to handle your own self, what to do, what not to do while you're still alive. I will also teach the meditation practice that I do at night and the breath that I do that would assist all of you. If you decide to follow all these steps, you will have a much higher chance of getting out if that is what you're inclined to do. And if you're not inclined to do that, it is as good a choice as any.
I see your energy floating around me in circles, and you're giggling. Very light energy, but there's many energetic capsules around you, and you're showing me your original self. You're this light, so there's like a deeper yellow with a lighter yellow inside, and I feel your energy of a child, like you're really happy. And you come from a newly born yellow star. Edin, Edin, that's the star's name. Milky Galaxy. At the end, you say, at the end of the Milky Galaxy. You're showing me a tunnel, like a portal, you know, it's spinning out of energies. It's beautiful. It's actually like a turning purple, blue, yellow, purple, blue, yellow, like this, 3 colors, and they're moving, they're swirling, and I see balls coming in, yellow, yellow, and I hear the call. There's a call. You say you heard a call to come because Earth is overflowing with negativity. You said negativity. It's partially taken over. Partially taken over. The bodies are being transformed the anti-evolutionary way, the opposite. You're showing me interesting thing. You show me like a clock, like the old type clock was alarm that you're supposed to twist, but then you show me it twisted the opposite way. So what they've done, they turned the progress backwards. Like instead of progressing in a very like natural, beautiful way, we started degrading, de-evolution, you say. And you said there's a lot of those blue souls, green souls, purple souls came to help out because you heard the, oh my gosh, you know who showed up. There's like this perfect picture. I actually see some sort of cube and it's rotating, a black cube that's being rotated in the space of the universe, and it's projecting. So each side of a cube is like a projector, you know, like a screen in the theater, in the cinema, and it's projecting like this guy with blonde hair, and he says, I'm from Ashtar command, and also like see the picture, I'm touching it, making sure like nobody is like tricking. It's not a hologram, but it's a projection was done for you one and for others behind you in the spinning, rotating portal that you came through to the gate that leads to the earth. You say that there's a sky gate, and that's the only entrance on this side through this point of energy to the earth center, you said. You went to the earth center first, because I see you lived inside in some sort of interesting space. It's like half filled with water. It's like it's made out of rock, and it has like lavaska, like a top, like like a space for water that's filled with water, like craters. But if I go back to how you got here, so basically this Ashtar showed up and he said that he is commanding and keeping track of all the souls who come, because without keeping track, they don't know how many, and there's only certain amount. You know, it's like, it's almost funny because he says there's occupancy number. There's not, like, you cannot let too many souls in, because when too many come, then they have to initiate events to get rid of some souls on the surface. And he's saying right now is what's happening right now. They initiated the process of getting rid of some souls, but they're frustrated because they cannot get rid of the souls who came here to observe and bring, you know, it's not like a bring and spread the energy. He's explaining it tricky. I feel so much trickery in here. He says, you know, first of all, there's like big alligator tail from underneath his gown, and his eyes. He's not who he is, because when I touch him and read his DNA, he is 100% reptilian. And so Ashtar is a reptilian group, and they sent a false alarm pretending to be nice. They sent a false alarm to all the souls of the existing universe inside, to, he says, an outside too, but not too many game, unfortunately, to come here and help out. But it was a trap. It was a trap because this thing inside of you, I see there's like a metallic net inside of you, micronet. It's an installation of it's like an implant. It's even like around like here goes through these, goes like on the sides, almost like a contour of your body, like outside, but it's actually sitting right on the skin. So I feel like in the beginning of your lives, or even now actually, it might cause some allergic reactions to, it's probably to the just environmental factors and different things, because I feel like because it's in connection with skin, it can irritate its responses to things. I feel like in childhood especially, but for some reason I'm led to the first lives. I keep like 18 lives all the time, 18. But I don't understand, like it shows me this one life 21st, but so you got 18 lives before, but 19 and 20 life, it looks like they sucked you inside the earth. You were inside, in some sort of capsule. And you're saying that's why you don't like enclosed areas, like almost like claustrophobic feeling, because they pulled you in and used you for energy, and those two lives in between. There is like a big room. It's like yeah, it looks like a capsule, but actually it produces some fake it's like a virtual reality room, very like futuristic. You step in there and it senses your interest in the life before and what you were interested in. Let's say you used to read like a lot of books, romance or whatever, or wars or history, and they would take you to the particular historic kind of like cluster of the events, and you will go through it as if you were living there, like as if you had a life, but it's just an illusion of a life, while your energy body is actually encapsulated in this room. And so back to how you got here. There's a contract. The weirdest part is that, so he has a contract, he's holding it in his hand like this. And that's how they got the picture, Ashtar command, like he's holding his hand, like right hand actually. And on the right hand, it's like he manifests out of his mind by using your energy, the script of all your lives. And it's different. It's kind of like he pulls different scenarios of life for how he can make you suffer mentally, emotionally in each life, and from pressing on this emotion, that emotion, to see how much energy you give off for them to eat or to use for their spaceship fuel or for their new projects, and creation of new egregor machines to connect more souls to them. And I feel like this life, it was like you're saying, it was a roller coaster life, because actually you're very connected to your true self, and your true self is like a little child filled with wonder. and happiness, and they covered it up with those capsules that I see around you, and they're all dark gray, dark purple, and another darker gray color around you, but inside you still preserve that you know, it's like that yellow, sunny, golden, warm energy that you brought with you. But you're saying that you are you just told me that you can call me a second wave of volunteers according to Dolores Cannon, because what she was wrong about is that the call from Earth we saw was generated by a Kuba machine that is this black cube with sides that project 3D creatures or beings, and they look like beings of light who welcome you to participate in this uplifting of the earth. But the thing is, it's actually downgrading of the earth.